Here we go. Spoiler alert, audience. Hi, everybody. Match. We're like the Doublemint twins.
You don't even know what that means.
You look beautiful. How pretty is she? Okay, go over there. That's Monday. All the pretty people are here. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the show. Happy brand new week. Happy Monday. Happy almost Thanksgiving. It's almost here. Thank you, everybody. Have a seat. Let's get started. Hello. Greetings. Yeah. Look at the back row. There's my girl. Back row is sassy today. I know, the back row is, we better have security on hand a little bit later. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up. We unintentionally matched today. It's Miss Kendall. Hello, Kendall.
Hi. Oh. Good morning.
May I give you a compliment?
Yes.
You look gorgeous today. You look amazing. Yeah, you look amazing. Yeah.
Thank you.
But I always think you're pretty. But yeah, you look beautiful today.
It's the royal blue. It makes everybody look.
Yeah.
You know?
When you come to visit the show, and a lot of you have blue, blue is a really good color for TV. All the the stylist people will tell you.
Yeah, like your blue. I love that blue too.
Well,
that navy.
This is my This is when I wear this. This is my good luck suit because this is the suit. Two things. I wore this on our very first national show. This is the suit I wore. And this suit was touched by Sarah Jessica Parker. Yeah.
That's the suit.
She touched it. I will reenact. She went like this. I love you. Like that. She touched right there. She touched me right there. Yeah.
Right
and I said, I love you too. And then I fainted. I just passed out. But yeah.
Straight up fell over.
And speaking of SJP, we're really excited because Mr. Big is going to be talking to us today. Chris Noth. Yeah, join us live. He has a new project. So how was your weekend?
Weekend was good. Fun fact. So Thanksgiving, like you said, right around the corner.
Right around the corner.
And I was thinking of starting this diet. Now that I've had my knee surgery and I can work out again, I'm like, okay, so it takes 20 days to do this diet. And I started doing the math and I was like, oh no, girl, I am not dieting over Thanksgiving.
No.
So I'm not starting. That was my story. Thank you.
No. You're beautiful just the way you are. No, this is a horrible time to start like a diet plan because it's like we got the Pilgrims, and then we go right into Christmas, and it's like, no, we can't do that.
Yeah, no, we can't do that. And then, I wanted to do it because, you know, what happens in January. January 18th is a very big day. I turned 30. So I wanted to do it before that.
Yeah, try 45, sister. Yeah, try 45. No, I know. What did you say today? We're all in the meeting, and we're all, well, actually, today's meeting is a little different because baby Bjorn is producing today's show. Ted's at a retreat or something. I don't know where Ted is, but Kendall, you were bemoaning something, and Kendall goes, oh, I just can't do that like I used to anymore. I'm almost 30.
Yeah.
And we all went, we all like, yeah. Executive producer Jeff and I are sitting there, try your mid-40s. And then come back and talk to me. But,
life's hard sometimes.
Congratulations to the Vikings.
Yes.
That was a good game last night. Yeah. I know. My father-in-law was at the game, and I can imagine the cuss words that were coming out of his mouth
it's like projectile.
at the beginning of the game. So yeah, my biggest achievement over the weekend was, and I didn't do it, Colin did it. We put up our Christmas tree already. We put up, I know, I got it done. We haven't decorated it yet, but it's up. And the dogs are just kind of looking at it like, what is this?
That was our weekend goal. We discussed this on Friday, and I didn't hold up my end of that.
It's all right. You still have time. It's just because we have a shorter amount of time this year.
I know. It's like 4 weeks instead of 5.
4 weeks instead of 5 weeks. So I'm going to get the stags out, and I'm going to get decorating. And
all the white stags.
All the white stags. That's right. Let's get started, everybody. It's time for the hot dish. First up, a lot of good stuff today. First up, the Real Housewives franchise is growing, and it's going west. the next city to be featured will be Salt Lake City. That's right. Yeah, the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is a thing. Andy Cohen made the announcement during BravoCon on Watch What Happens Live this weekend. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City will follow a social circle of successful women in the, quote, majestic mountains of Utah. Bravo says, I love this little tagline, Bravo says, the series will offer, quote, high hopes, high altitudes, and high drama. Yeah. This is, if you can listen to this audience, this is the 10th installment of the Housewives franchise. Now, we don't know what's going to premiere. We don't know who's going to be in it. But we do know this. Guess what I just found out? Producer Ted in Utah right now. That's right.
He's in the Great Salt Lake.
Is he auditioning to be on The Real Housewives? I don't know.
Making a guest cameo?
I don't know. I can see Ted on The Real Housewives, you know.
Could you, though?
Watching Hallmark movies with the ladies? Oh, yeah. Could you? Are you throwing shade at Ted when he's not even here?
Yes, I'm throwing so much shade at Ted right now.
I think producer Ted would be amazing on a show like that. Yes.
Okay, one, Ted is not rich enough. B, he's not a girl.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like bajillionaires.
I know.
Those people are ridiculous.
Well, okay, some of them are fake rich. Let's be very clear. Yeah.
Well, their faux rich is better than my not rich.
I get it. No, I'm excited for this. Because, you know, when you think of a new city, you think, oh, maybe they're going to do this Chicago or maybe Houston. I love that they went with Salt Lake City. I mean, you got the intrigue, a large Mormon population there. Is that going to come into play? You know what I mean? And it has to.
Yeah,
it has to.
It has to. Well, okay, so...
Is an Osmond going to pop up? You know what I mean?
I don't know. So inside scoop, not kind of, sort of. So I have family out in Salt Lake City. So I've seen those areas that they're just these mega mansions. And a lot of those people are in the more Latter-day Saints.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it has to do with that too, because that's who all the super rich people out there, that's what they do.
They're either, the whole cast is going to be Mormon or Osmonds. I mean,
yes.
Or together. Yeah.
All of it together. So I follow a lot of those super, super wealthy girls on Instagram because they're all like, just their lives are fabulous.
I'm going to be watching.
They might be one of them.
They may.
I don't know.
The other big reveal at BravoCon has to do with the cast of The Real Housewives of New York. Countess Luann, with her long ponytail, introduced the newest housewife. Look at this.
Luann, I heard you brought along a very special guest. Is it true?
It's true. I brought along the newest Real Housewife of New York City, Leah McSweeney.
Everybody welcome her. Give it up, New York City.
Okay, that's Leah McSweeney. So, Leah is, here's what we know about her. She's the new housewife. She owns her own fashion line called Married to the Mob. Whatever. She's also a columnist for Penthouse. Yeah, and she has some big shoes to fill because she's filling the slot left by Bethany Frankel, who left the show last year. So Leah joins Luann, Ramona, Dorinda, and Tinsley. Where's Sonia? Sonia was not at BravoCon. She has to be in the new city. You can't do New York without Sonia, but Sonia was nowhere to be found at BravoCon.
And they didn't list her on the presser of who this new girl was going to be joining.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think anything of it until
they're
you just said that.
They're going to keep Tinsley but get rid of Sonia?
I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know. Maybe her wig wasn't big enough. Did you see all those ponytails? Those
I know.
Were ridiculous.
Oh, Sonia better be in that season. Now I'm all mad because Tinsley...
Did I just heat you up a little bit?
No, you did.
Sorry.
Next in the dish, it's been 15 years since the Osbournes, speaking of reality shows, went off the air. But they may be making a return to reality TV. Kelly Osbourne says right now there is an offer on the table to revive the show, and it's the closest the family has ever come to accepting one of these offers. Now, she did raise concerns about filming a new series now that their family has expanded. Now, if you are a youngin' and you don't remember, the Osbournes ran for 4 huge seasons on MTV, giving us a look at the unfiltered lives of Ozzy, Sharon, Jack, and Kelly. The older Osbourne wanted nothing to do with the show. But just to give you, that show was massive. It was, you were probably a little young, but...
I remember it. I watched it.
Oh.
Yeah, I wasn't supposed to, but I did.
It was really, other than The Real World It was one of the first mega successful reality shows. It was in the zeitgeist. It was everywhere. There was Osbourne references on The Simpsons and Saturday Night Live. It was everywhere.
I just remember watching it and being, like you said, Ozzy was clearly just not into it. And they always had to subtitle him, and it would be like, and then she'd like the subtitle would say because he didn't know what he was saying.
It was so good.
It was so funny.
There's so many good episodes of that show. Oh, if you missed it, it's available on DVD. Go back and watch. It's still entertaining to this day. It's so good. Yeah. What?
Do you watch anything on DVD anymore?
Do I watch anything on DVD? Yeah, the Oprah Winfrey Show 20th Anniversary Collection. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The audience is stunned into silence on that one, but I do.
Okay.
Oprah for her 20th anniversary came out with a DVD collection, and I bought that. I watch that all the time.
Oh.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay,
Yeah,
I should have
it.
expected that. I should have.
Yeah, I have a DVD player, but I rarely use it.
Don't use it
I don't.
often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I even have a VHS player. I mean, for my Dallas. Anyway.
For Dallas.
Anyway. Yeah. Specifically, more Knots Landing, actually. Yeah. Lots more to come, everybody. We'll be back right after this. Coming up, more Hot Dish live from Hollywood. TMZ will join us with the latest dangerous twist in the Taylor Swift-Scooter Braun feud. Why folks are saying this is getting serious. Then, whether you loved him on Sex and the City or you loved him on The Good Wife, Chris Noth is just, well, a favorite. And he's making his Jason Show debut, talking about a new project. And Kendall is playing around in her latest 9 to 5.
Do you have solitaire on this computer?
This time, helping to create amazing playground equipment that you can find at major attractions around the world. This is awesome. You're going to love it, and it's all next.
Listen, first of all, if you look closely to the picture, Rose is maybe dead or totally frozen, and she's not quite all there. Okay? Second of all, he doesn't need an invitation. Come on, baby. Make yourself comfortable. Jump in.
Yeah.
You know?
He could have pushed her over a little bit.
Who did not think about this guy who's in the middle of the frozen ocean and that maybe all his body is so frozen that he didn't have the strength to jump in for my love.
Oh my God. Jump in! Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You didn't think that he could jump
For her love.
Jump in! Feel the touch. Jump in the water. My kisses in the night. And jump for my love. Yeah, okay. All right.
Wow, that happened. Don't you think when you get so much money like Celine Dion, you just get goofy? You know what I mean?
Ain't nobody gonna tell you no.
Do you think about it like we were talking about in the meeting? You have so much money and no one will tell you all about yourself. You just get a little kooky.
Yeah, a little
bit. I mean,
bit.
think of Oprah. And I love Oprah more than my luggage. But everything is a celebration. She holds up a cucumber in her garden. She's like, my cucumber! You know what I mean?
It's so true.
But it's, you have no one to say, settle down. Yeah.
Right.
It's just a squash.
You know,
Yeah.
and do you notice when Celine Dion goes crazy, she always kind of finds herself doing it and then she just starts singing.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it's like, okay, it's fine.
Celine Dion, Jimmy Fallon last night weighing in on the famous Titanic door debate. Well, you know on Mondays we get a special serving of Hot Dish all the way from Hollywood. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Sean from TMZ. Hi, Sean.
Hey, Jason, how's it going?
Sean, I know you just heard my conversation there. Don't you think some of these folks, when they get so much money, they just get wacky, right?
Yeah, I mean, who's going to tell them no?
Yes! No one. No one.
No one.
No.
No one.
Someone who probably gets no said to them very, very, very rarely, Kanye West. He put on a show, quite a show yesterday. What's the dish?
That's right. So he was in Houston for his Sunday service that he was hosting with Joel Osteen at his Lakewood church. Now, that pairing may seem unlikely to you, but the two have grown close since Kanye found God and has become more focused on Christianity. Now, we actually got him after the Sunday service, which went on for a couple of hours, and he said that his next move is going to be focusing on prison reform, which is taking a page out of his wife Kim's playbook. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next for them.
Well, hey, that's good. I mean, putting your focus on something positive. Moving on, Pete Davidson's romance with Kaya Gerber continues to blossom. What did they do to celebrate Pete's birthday this weekend?
So they celebrated his birthday Saturday night after Pete was participating, of course, in SNL. Big show there with Harry Styles hosting and being the musical guest. They went to Magnolia Bakery, a celeb favorite in the West Village, and they got a birthday cake and vanilla pudding. Interesting choice there. The two were seen entering her apartment at about 3:30 a.m. After the taping and the after party for SNL, which is always a big bash. And they've been inseparable for about a month now, so things seem to be escalating between the two.
And I mean, Sean, I think we should celebrate the month. I mean, that's big for Pete Davidson.
Yeah. It's, he's been moving fast and furious lately, so nice to see him slow down a little.
Exactly. Thank you, my friend. Sean from TMZ. To catch TMZ on TV, to search your local listings. More hot dish for you. The Taylor Swift Scooter Braun feud is heating up. Now, yeah, and this turn is like, now, to catch y'all up, here's what's going on. Taylor says that she planned to perform a medley of her own music, her hits, at the American Music Awards that's coming up on Sunday. But she says Scooter won't let her, calling the performance an illegal re-recording. Now, Scooter acquired the rights to Swift's music when he bought her former record label called Big Machine. Now, Big Machine says her claims are false, and she is free to perform her entire catalog if she wants. Big Machine Label Group's headquarters were reportedly shut down. This is the latest. Were reportedly shut down early on Friday due to death threats to the staff. Sources say Scooter is not happy with the way things are being handled because if you don't know, too, Taylor got on social media, and I agree with the premise of Taylor's argument. Taylor got on social media and said, hey, fans, let Scooter and Big Machine know how you feel. Here's the danger, and I want to be clear in my thought here. I agree with Taylor. I think the guy should sell her the music or come up with the deal. I think it would be a good PR move. I know probably Taylor should continue with her contract, but whatever. Here's where I question what Taylor did. Taylor has such a devoted fan base and a fan base. You don't know these people. You don't know if there's somebody a little unstable in that group who will literally listen to every word you tell them to do. This is where I'm wondering this morning if Taylor is regretting the plea to her fans in this day and age. You know, it's a powerful, powerful platform she has.
Right, and she should know because she's someone who's spoken out about how she has to move all the time because her fans are so intense that they break into her properties and into her houses. And so, yeah, I mean, I think what she said was out of passion and in the heat of the moment, but she clearly is a pretty nice person.
Yeah.
I don't think she would ever want someone to have death threats thrown at them, but it's a mess.
I even said, on a much smaller scale, about 5 or 6 years ago, somebody kind of checked me on this, and I agree with them. I was mad at somebody, or I know it wasn't a business, but it was an individual person. And I remember making a social media post about this person and tagging them. And then all of the viewers and all of the listeners started attacking this one person. And I thought, gosh, I'm no better than what I'm accusing this other person of doing because all of these people are now attacking this one person. So I've really stopped doing that. The only time I put people on blast is when they are just basically human slime. You know what I mean? When they're not redeemable. You know what I mean? When they're when they are ghastly or ghastly is a word I've never used on the show before.
I liked it.
But you know what I mean? When they are just blatantly homophobic or racist, I don't mind putting people on blast because I'm so sick of this thing. Well, you know, just let them go. No. Sometimes online trolls need to be called out for being online trolls because social media, they do. Every so often I'll put someone on blast because Yeah, social media is opinion without consequence, and sometimes there needs to be consequences. Next on the dish. Yeah. But don't worry, I don't plan on calling anybody out today. That's right, yeah. Well, what time is it?
Not on the docket.
A big honor last night for, we're proud, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. The music producers from Minneapolis were honored with the Legend Award from the Soul Train Music Awards, featuring several blockbuster performances. Look at this.
I said, I'm a little dangerous. Girl, I'd love to show you. My true love. We are. I think I wanna know you. Soul Train. Yeah. We are. Girl, I'd love to show you. Wait a minute.
Yep. I do not need to tell you who that is, but I'm going to anyway. That's, of course, Morris Day and the Time, performing last night, a band featuring both Jam and Lewis. Look at that. Look at them right there. Jam and Lewis, of course, are best known for their work with Janet Jackson, recently reuniting with Janet on stage at her concert at Treasure Island. A lot of our crew were there. I was there as well. And they talked about the power of music last night. Let's listen.
If we made your booty shake in the club, or your spirit rise in praise, or been the soundtrack for living your best life, thank you for listening.
Absolutely. And all the people online attacking Janet Jackson because she lip syncs a little bit, I hope you all attack everybody else who's lip syncing at their shows and charging $200. Anyway, Next up, leave Janet alone. Next up, with so many shows available now on all the different streaming sites, I always want to help you out with what to watch and what to skip. It's time for a new segment we're calling Binge or Bail. That's right. And I'm giving you my review of some new streaming shows. First up, it's back. Season 3 of the Netflix hit The Crown. Yeah. It arrived like a beautiful baby yesterday, and I got the chance to watch the first episode with Olivia Colman taking over the role of Queen Elizabeth. Amazing. I don't need to say. Amazing. I love Claire Foy. Forgot about Claire Foy. That's how good it is. I love her. Don't miss her.
That's what the producers said, though. They said that you'd kind of just forget about it.
Yeah, and you meet a new prime minister, Prime Minister Wilson, who at first the Queen's a little icy, but then it's so good. I only watched episode 1, so I'll keep you updated. But it looks, it's so good. Next up, a new show on the recently launched Disney Plus. It's a show that I think for the whole family you're gonna love. That's why I'm picking it. It's called The Imagineering Story, and it takes you behind the scenes of Disney theme parks, showing you how they were created. Here's a little bit.
Anytime you take people behind the scenes, you see the imperfections, the trial and error, or the experimentation.
Behind all of these curtains are different projects going on. This is the cutting edge of the technology of Imagineering.
The series really does, as they say, pull the curtain back. The first episode of the series, because it goes in the order of the history of Walt Disney, the company. It goes back to the early days of Walt creating Disneyland in 1955. So, and if you don't know what an Imagineer is, the Imagineers are basically, the easiest way for me to describe it, are the great men and women who create the magic. They're the ones who figure out how to do the animatronic presidents. They are the ones who designed the Matterhorn ride. They figured out how to make Space Mountain. That's what an Imagineer is. And this series, narrated by Angela Bassett, takes you chronologically through the history of Walt Disney. And again, it starts with, right there, you see footage of Walt building Disneyland. The first episode ends with Walt's passing in the mid-60s. And the question, where does the Walt Disney Company go without Walt Disney? I think you will love it. As I said, it's great for the whole family. This footage you're seeing here, never before seen footage from the family of the creation of Disneyland and Walt Disney World. It's available right now on Disney Plus. Coming up, everybody, you know him from shows like Sex and the City, Law and Order, and The Good Wife. After the break, we're chatting with Chris Noth about his latest streaming service project when we return. Welcome back. Don't forget, if you would like to come see us, like this beautiful studio audience right here, all you have to do, especially that back row right there. Look at that back row. And the rest of the rows are very pretty too. That's right. All you have to do to get tickets is go to the Jason Show Facebook page. Just search for Jason Show TV. Click that ticket tab right below the cover photo. You're in by 9:15 and you're out by 11:15. You can win a mug. You can see Aaron Schwab. You can see Kendall. And on certain days, I give you our general manager's car. That's right. Because that's how many cars she has. There we go. Well, our first guest today starred in countless TV shows and movies, but is especially known for 3 iconic shows. Law and Order, a little HBO show called Sex and the City, and Shiver Me Timbers, my all-time favorite, The Good Wife. Look at
You look like you're 25 years old, fresh out of law school, ready to conquer the world.
Okay, but we have to be quick.
I love him. I love that show. Now Chris is teaming up with a new streaming site to help us all with streaming anxiety. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Chris Noth, everybody. Hi, Chris.
Thank you.
I
was trying to figure out what that scene was because I could hear it, but I couldn't see it.
That is the scene in season 2 where you unzip her dress. Yes!
One of my favorite scenes.
I know. I love it. Okay, so I know we talk a lot about streaming on this show because we cover a lot of pop culture, so I'm so glad to have you. Explain to the folks, Chris, what Tubi is.
It's a streaming service that's free.
Yeah. Is that it?
And that's a big deal, actually,
Yeah.
if you have to, because it's very simple. You don't have to put a credit card down or passwords or any of that stuff. And it also has material that you're not going to find on Netflix. And I think it's the future of streaming, really, frankly. So, I mean, that is essentially what makes it different. The way it pays for itself is that it has I can hear my echo in your, that's funny. I'm hearing myself on a time delay. To pay for itself, it asks 2 minutes of commercials, which is minuscule, especially if you watch cable and network, where you're getting at least 12 minutes to sometimes, I don't know, more, especially in the news. So it's a very simple idea, but
a big one.
It's easy, and it's it's rather a big one when you consider everyone else is charging you.
I was going to say that, and also, Chris, the library of titles, again, like you said, shows you're not going to find on Hulu or Netflix where you're paying for. A great library available on Tubi.
Yeah. I like a lot of the old classic stuff. When I tune in, I usually do it at night. Thelma and Louise, Ben-Hur, my favorite, The Sting, for movies. So there's a lot to look for. They got, you mentioned I did Law and Order, but they've got their own crime shows like The Commish, Cold Case Files. It's fun to unsolved mysteries. Those kinds of things are fun to, delve into. So it's, I think streaming is kind of the future of what people watch now. I don't think we have the patience to say we have to be at home at a certain hour to watch a particular show at a particular time anymore. We do it when we want to do it.
Absolutely. Speaking of,
and that's true for this also.
Speaking of old shows, before they gave me the rap, I mentioned I'm sure people ask you probably the most about Sex and the City, but I'm going to stick with The Good Wife because, Chris, I have said it. I've said I think The Good Wife, though appreciated, is still underappreciated by shishi poo poo critics. I think it's one of the best. It's probably one of the best shows of the last 20 years. Would you not agree?
I think it's one of the best shows CBS has ever done, and I was always surprised that they went to that place with that show. And the Kings gave something to that network that I think is probably the crown of the kind of drama, and just really great guest actors, and of course Julianne Margulies was just impeccable. It was a really good show. I was sort of intermittent.
Yeah.
I came in and out, so I wasn't there all the time. But when I was, it was not just fun, but challenging.
Absolutely. Chris, thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate your time. Find Tubi, everybody, where you find your streaming services. That's right. That's Peter Florek. I mean, I'm freaking out. I know the majority of you right now are at home freaking out because it's Mr. Big. I am too. I love Sex in the City. That's Peter Florek. I mean, you know what I mean? It's one of those moments where I'm like, it's one of those moments where I think, I'm really happy I have a TV show. Yeah. Still ahead. You guys couldn't get enough of the booty-shaking llama last week, so we're opening up the Jason Show mailbag to read and see some of your really funny comments. Plus, building a playground. Kendall's breaking out her steel-toe boots and hard hat. We'll be right back, everybody. Stay with us. I didn't know she had steel-toe boots. Mr. Big was on our show. He was, yeah. Welcome back. We love hearing from you every day about our show, and so that means it's time once again to open up the Jason Show mailbag. Here we go.
You've got mail.
Now, today's mailbag has a theme. It's all about one topic, and if you look closely, you'll know what that topic is. Kendall, would you like to activate Lorenzo Lamas, the booty-shaking llama? There he goes. That's right. We had him on the... Yep. We had him on the show last week. The toy guy was here, and you're looking at one of the hottest toys this holiday season. Look at that. This is Boppy, the booty-shaking llama. Now, we have named ours Lorenzo Llama, based on Falcon Crest star Lorenzo Lamas. And don't be surprised if there was a rush of orders on these little guys last week. Well, we heard from a lot of you on Instagram and Facebook about buying one after seeing it on our show. Here are a few of our favorite comments. First up, this warmed our heart. Jessie sent us a message thanking us for recommending the toy. Look at this. She says her father was admitted to the hospital last week, and while they were watching the show together, he loved the booty-shaking llama. Jessie was able to get her hands on one to surprise him. She thanked us for making her dad's day a little brighter in the hospital. Yeah. Well, what? Come on.
I mean,
what's better than that?
Nothing. Literally
That's what
nothing.
we try to do at the whole show. So, Dad, I hope you're feeling better, my friend. I do. And even if you need to borrow, if your llama needs a mate, we can bring Lorenzo over. I'm just saying, yeah.
Mail order.
Yeah, exactly. Next up, Mark and Mary in Duluth. Hi, guys. They wrote, they saw our show today with the llama, and they went straight to Walmart and bought the purple one. Found out that that is the Walmart one, so we had to go, they're out of it, so they had to go to Target for the white one. So they went to one store for a purple one and another store for the white one.
Oh my gosh.
Because again, I guess they wanted a mate or something. I don't know. Christy writes, totally ordered this during the actual segment, she says. No clue who's getting it. Who am I kidding? It's totally for me. Yeah.
Yes, girl.
Yeah. Jeff ordered one, executive producer Jeff. I mean, you know, yeah.
Oh, he says it's for his nephew.
It's not. Nicole says, I think I'm going to get my husband a llama for Christmas because I just want to see his face. Yeah.
It's a good point.
It's a good one.
Solid
if
point.
you bought the llama, be sure to share your videos with us on our Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram. All you have to do is search for Jason Show TV right there. Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Coming up, Kendall tries your 9 to 5. This time, she's building a playground. That's no joke. What did she come up with? You'll find out when we return. Back after this. Welcome back, everybody. If you look right there, you'll see the star of Fox 9's Enough Said. That's Lori Fisher right there. That's right, yeah. I'm going to keep my comments to myself. Welcome back. They create some of the coolest playgrounds you ever did see in cities around the world, and they're based right here in Minnesota. Landscape Structures in Delano has been around since the early 70s, but could they handle a new employee by the name of Kendall? See what happens when Kendall went to work helping to create a new indoor playground. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our latest Kendall Tries Your 9 to 5.
I gotta know, do I get to design a playground while I'm here? I mean, I'm probably really good at it.
Some of our best designers
Yeah.
are the kids that submit playgrounds. They're sending designs that they want to see. So if you can act like a kid,
Yeah.
you can probably, now you're maybe not going to be able to use the software, but you can imagine anything.
I'm gonna go back and do some cool things in operations, right?
It's going to be a little trial and error. We'll walk you through and we'll see. But we hope we can find something for you.
Well, I brought my steel-toed boots, so I'm ready. Can I go down this?
Maybe. So let's see how you do out in the factory first, and then we can decide. Is that fair?
Fine. This is where you make everything. It sounds terrifying in here, I'm gonna be honest.
Okay. It is important that we do find you a safe job because that is our #1 priority is safety, and so we want to make sure you get out just as healthy as you came in. So let's go take a look.
Okay. This looks like a laser beam. Do I get to do this one?
Well, this sheet laser cuts all of our flat steel, and you need to be really good at programming and understanding the whole computer system. So.
Do you have solitaire on this computer?
No. Not that I've found.
Oh, do you have Facebook? Instagram?
Nope.
All right, well, you can do that.
But this is going to cut round tubing. It's really important to our playground equipment.
That one is shooting sparks out at people. So far, the playground equipment I thought would be this big playful enterprise has been scaring me. A lot of laser beams.
How has your welding been?
My welding game?
Yeah.
A zero. Zero.
So you don't know how to weld? This is something that we could possibly train you to do, but
looks hard.
They have a grinder to take all the weld spatter off to give a good quality finish. And there's flying sparks.
Flying sparks in here. I don't like the welding room. Eric claims there's some Spaceball reference here, but I have no idea what it is because I've never seen it.
I am your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate.
All right, so far this is going really, really well. I can't do anything. We'll find something.
Okay, we will find something. Now we're approaching something that might be somewhere that could suit you.
Okay.
Are you artistic by chance?
I get to paint. Are you telling me I get to paint?
You're gonna get to paint.
Usually there's a bigger process to this. We load it, paint it, and then kind of do an inspection piece, unload, and package. But we have a ton of work coming through today, so I really think my guys could maybe use a little bit of a break, so we're gonna bring you in there and let you paint some of this.
Do I get to pick out the color?
You don't. The loaders picked out the color for you, but it'll be a fun color because all of our colors are really fun.
Battery-powered devices. This happens to be a battery-powered device, so we're going to mime and do an interpretive dance throughout my painting process.
I talked to Alyssa.
And?
She said you did a pretty good job and gave you the thumbs up. So the slide is yours.
Good enough, y'all. I'd like to dedicate this to Jason. Auf Wiedersehen. Come on, you can do it, Kendall.
And Kendall joins me now. All over the world, these structures are.
All over the world. You've happened to have seen one
I
of
was just
them.
going to say one of them is at Epcot Center, and I know exactly. It's kind of by Test Track, isn't it? Where's my landscaper? Isn't it by Test Track? I knew it. I know. Yeah, I know.
He knows
And the
way
kids
too much.
I know. I can tell you, I'm like a tour guide, but no, they're cool.
They are really cool, and so like you said, they make them for all over the world. And that giant slide you saw there is in the lobby. Like you walk
That's
in,
their
and that's
lobby?
in the lobby is this giant slide.
I wish we had one of those.
Yeah. I also found out, for real, they went through the inspection process of all the things I painted.
Passed?
I passed.
You
They didn't have to fix any of them.
I love it.
Thank you. So proud of
Love
myself.
it. We're gonna order one for Fox 9. We'll just have Sheila Oliver come downstairs like that, just coming down there. That's right. Lori, what time is your show on? Let me give you a plug. 9:30 Friday nights. Watch Lori. Enough said. To learn more about landscape structures, check out playlsi.com. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back, everybody. Back after this. Welcome back. We're talking about Epcot Center. The cool thing about the Imagineering project, or the Imagineering story, the show I recommended on Disney Plus, is the second episode takes you from Walt's death in the mid-'60s to the creation of Walt Disney World and Epcot Center.
So he wasn't around for that.
No, Walt died in the mid-'60s,
Okay.
but Disney World was being planned, and when you watch it, it'll tug on your heart a little bit, is his older brother, Roy Disney, was really in charge of the purse strings. He was the finance guy. Walt was the visionary. Well, the little brother died. I mean, Walt passed away,
Right.
so Roy felt the obligation to see Walt's ultimate vision come to life, which was a Walt Disney World. Well, what had happened was Roy pushed the project through. Disney World opened in Florida, and 6 months later, Roy passed away.
Wow.
So his son said, and it's actually kind of beautiful, his family said, think about it. He held on, because he was in his 80s. So he's like, Roy held on,
get it done.
was determined to get his brother's vision done, and gave all that he could, and then passed away. You know, and it was, it's really cool. Yeah, and they talk, and I'm bringing this back up because of Epcot Center. So, and then the second episode takes you to the creation of Epcot Center and Walt's vision for that. So it's just a really fascinating. I mean, it reminds me of that. So you can see it on Disney Plus. We're going to take a break to wrap things up. Back after this, everybody. So we have one, every day it's maybe 4 or 5. Today we have one dude in the audience, and it's his birthday. Phil's birthday today. That's right. Happy birthday, Phil. We'll get you a mug. Yeah, right there. It's Phil's birthday. We'll get him a, If you come to the show, oh, actually, you know what? Go ahead. Hey, Phil, guess what? You get to hold Lorenzo Llama right there. There we go.
You
Right
can't
there.
keep him, though.
Aaron, check him though. Phil, he can't look. Oh my goodness! He's attacking you, Phil. Look at that. Okay, that's my favorite shot of our whole show right there. That is fantastic. Well, don't forget, you can be like Phil and get tickets to our show. All you have to do is go to our Facebook page, click the ticket tab, and we'll send you a conversation as soon as we can. And please remember, as I stick up for my staff a little bit, if we are a very small staff, so if we don't respond to you right away, keep in mind we will. It'll just take us a little time. So I appreciate your patience. We read every comment. But again, we are a small staff. We'll get back to you as soon as humanly possible. But the good thing about coming to the show, you're in by 9:15 and you're out by 11:15. And that, people always ask about the mugs. That's a way to possibly get a mug. Is to come see us. Play a game and stuff like that.
Gotta volunteer.
Gotta volunteer for the games. We play the games. Or you can be like Phil. You sit in the front row and you play with a llama. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Llamas are fun.
Before we go, Kendall also does sports over at the Wild. How was the Wild game this weekend?
I worked on Saturday, so I think some of you saw me, some of you said hello, which was nice and great. It's always fun to see people who watch the show and then come to the game, and I'm like, they're like, where do you sleep? Like, what do you do? I'm like, I sleep here on the Jason Show set.
That's right.
We all do. It's great.
So go see Kendall at a Wild game, everybody. Tomorrow, One of our most popular guests returns. Etiquette expert Julie France is back with everything you need to know about proper etiquette during the holidays. That's tomorrow. Plus, Hanson's here too. That's going to do it for us. If you're watching and you're a kid that's being bullied, you go out there and be yourself because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. Thanks for watching, everybody. Patience, people.